Welcome to another episode of Homelessness Chronicles. Today we're here with Dr. Richard Quadracci. And Richard, how are you today?
I'm great. Thank you very much for asking. It's a beautiful day. It's an honor to be here.
Thank you so much for coming on the show today. I just wanted to ask you some questions about, your family. And it seems like you have such a giving heart and you fund so many organizations. I'd like to just learn more, like, where did that start?
Well, I tell you, we're not that big, we give many donations, but not gigantic ones. Me and my siblings, we were left a foundation by our parents who had saved 10% of the profits of our family company over the years and built up this endowment that will pass to my son. And so where did my charitable intents come from? I think they came from my parents, and they have charged me upon their death to resume the role. And so it is a responsibility, because even with the modest funds that we give, you have this responsibility to your parents, to what they wanted their money that they earned so hard to go to. So let me tell you, it's as difficult as it may be for you, and you're probably going to say to find someone like me, it is much harder for me to find a charity like yours. One with a unique idea that has a infinite potential for growth, something that can be repeated in another city with little cost, something led by a founder like you, who is a true believer, who really is in it for a real purpose. And with your experience in homelessness and how honest you have been with me and our filmmaker, I was, at your first gala, I was really taken for surprise, because I had hoped, I had an idea, but then when you told us your story, that did it, because that's what I look for, is a low overhead and a real true believer who's doing this for a higher purpose.
Well, I want to thank you so much. And the community is our heartbeat. But Dr. Quadracci, you have invested so much into showering love, such as the documentary that'll be coming out soon. And in fact, you sponsored the podcast. So we want to thank you for that
Well, I think your story is probably your best asset. I think that as your story gets out, your fundraising will come in. I think you appeal to a broad spectrum of people, small donors, large donors, who, when they meet you and they see your story, which we are now capturing on film, right, and can distribute, that people realize, especially, well, let me ask you the numbers, okay, per client, per visit, how much does it cost?
It costs $25 a person.
Okay, and so for $25, you bring back somebody, their dignity, okay, and perhaps an interview. As people say, so many people are 2 paychecks away from homelessness, but with your help, with your service, with 2 visits to your shower, 3 interviews, they're 2 paychecks away from getting a home, right? It is that simple. It is that simple. People look at the homeless problem as some massive thing. No, you have proved with your success rate that there are a lot of people who don't like being homeless, okay, who really would just like the opportunity to clean themselves off, okay, catch their balance, okay, straighten their tie, okay, and present themselves as a human. And as you have told me before, so many of them have master's degrees and these incredible histories and all this potential. If they could just catch their balance, for 24 hours, get cleaned up and think clearly and reach out.
And to have someone like Showering Love, we have a navigation team that because we connect them to resources, and we just don't say, here's the number, here's the brochure, go there. No, we follow up with them. Because the system is hard to navigate. So, and that also lets them know that they're not alone, that you're not going to walk this all by yourself, because, from my own experience, once I hit bottom, that mountain to get my life back looks so high and it looks so undoable. And so we don't want them to feel that way. We want them to know we're their biggest cheerleaders. We're here for them. We're not going to do the work for them, right?
They have to work.
We are going to give them as much support and resources, and because we are connected to many health providers, other collaborators that are working with the same population. We do the health fairs, but it starts with the shower. It starts with restoring human dignity, right?
So it starts with the shower, and then, as you mentioned, new clothes, sometimes a haircut,
Always a haircut.
some food. So the next thing, if I was homeless, after that experience, I would kill for one night
Yes.
in a bed. That just seems to be the logical next step. Even if we found a Econo Lodge or some very, discount and offered, like we offer one shower, one night, enough time for them to just think overnight in a clean environment,
In a perfect world, and of course it's on Showering Love's radar with the board of directors, is we're hoping to buy a hotel and convert it, because one day is great, 3 days we've put them up, but it's not enough time
No.
us to get them a more positive solution.
But, it may be enough time for enough people to show a proof of concept. Because you guys, what's great about your charity, you folks, I've heard guys is insulting now. I'm sorry about that. You folks do, because you are small, you do follow your clients and their names. So you probably could pick out a group, a team that could, be a pilot project for an overnight stay. It's just an idea.
I think it's a great idea because
For another $25, if they do double occupancy in a cheap hotel,
can you imagine?
that's like another 48 hours towards their future.
Can you imagine what a one night stay in a bed, getting a good night's rest would mean?
I know for a fact what it means. I had an experience in Costa Rica a long time ago. I was very ill, and yes, I remember that night, that first night in a hotel. I had lost my passport, and I was, I know what it feels like to not be able to sleep, right? And you just need.
And we know when you don't sleep well,
you don't think straight, and you don't eat right, and then
right,
you
and your mental
easily
health
slide.
starts
Yes.
to
It eats away at you.
Sleep deprivation is one of the worst, and many people across the world suffer from sleep deprivation. But from my own experience being out there, and I still have trouble sleeping all the way through the night because I'm always on alert. When you're out on the streets, you're out in every element, every environment, and you have to sleep on alert because you're always worried if someone's going to walk up on you, whatever. So I know they're not getting good sleep.
So let me ask you, if you had to do the pilot program right away, and you found a hotel and cut a good rate, how many people, and you said 3 days, right? So would you have like a test group that you think would qualify?
I do.
Like how many people?
Well, as many as that.
Yeah, but we want a really high rate of success for proof of concept.
So I think, maybe we started off at 25 or 30. That way it gives me time and get our team in there because we're going to need to be there every day working with them.
So why don't we try with like 5?
Let's do that.
Okay, I will fund it.
Let's do that. And
Let's do it, and then we can report back on the progress on your show.
Awesome.
And so find just the 5 most promising people that, like you and your staff, who came out of homelessness.
Absolutely.
Okay, with dignity and gave back to the community. And let's find those next 5 people and see what happens. And let's follow them. How about that?
Let's do that. And maybe we can get in Garzone Media to
follow
come
us,
and
yes.
follow us.
And eventually one of them can sit in this chair
Exactly.
and explain exactly what he needs. Because I find the best thing with charity, don't assume you know what they need. Ask them. And I bet right after they have their lunch and their haircut, they're like, I would kill for a bed for a night.
Oh, that is
with
everything.
a door, quiet, or maybe some TV. So let's do that.
Absolutely.
Just put a time frame on it. How about, when can you do it? By your game night on
Let's
June
do it then.
6th.
Yeah.
So we have something to announce.
Awesome.
Okay.
Okay, so Richard, there's so many more questions I'd love to ask.
Well, I'm
you.
here for the ride. This is something I really like, is to see progress, to empower you, because I am not an expert on homelessness or food giveaways, but I know who is, and that's my job, is to give you the tools, because you know how to fix this. You just need somebody to help you, empower
But
you.
without your support and your funding, it wouldn't be possible.
And without you, I would have no place to put this money.
All right, we're not going to argue
Okay.
about that. Thank you for listening. Richard, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having me.
We'll see you in the next episode.